The University of Louisville is placing its longtime basketball coach on leave after the school was implicated by the FBI in a massive bribery scandal. Rick Pitino has coached the Louisville Cardinals since 2001, leading them to an NCAA championship in 2013. Now he and the school's athletic director are out amid allegations of a deal between an unnamed Louisville staffer and Adidas director of global marketing to pay $100,000 to the family of a recruit. Louisville's interim president announced the decision Wednesday afternoon.
While the investigation is continuing and no charges have been filed against the University of Louisville or any of its employees, the allegations are serious. It is vital for this university to strictly adhere to NCAA rules and, of course, federal law. Doing nothing would be a tacit endorsement of unethical and criminal behavior. Effective immediately, Coach Pitino has been placed on an unpaid administrative leave. Coach Pitino's employment will be reviewed at a later date. We will continue throughout this process to follow university personnel policies.
Let's bring in CBS Sports national columnist and host of Reiter Than You, Bill Reiter. Bill, you've covered college basketball for many, many years. What is the college basketball world saying about this?
They are absolutely living in fear. If you talk to coaches around the country, people that you have relationships with like I do, they are worried how far the tentacles of this investigation are going to reach and whether it's going to touch their programs and in some cases whether it's going to touch their careers and their livelihoods.
For people who don't follow college basketball, people have known there's sort of a wink and a nod with the recruitment process. You're not supposed to get paid. You get a nice scholarship, you come and play, you go to the university for free. But people sort of knew there was more to it.
Yeah, the reality is that players get paid, and it's not a question of whether it happens, it's how widespread is the cheating. One former coach said that 9 out of 10 schools are paying players are cheating, and the one school that isn't is in last place.
Wow. That
was seen as an exaggeration. It may be reality. Just talking to sources and knowing people around the game, people absolutely get paid, and what's shocking here isn't what the FBI and the federal authorities have revealed to us. It's the fact that they're involved in this in the first place.
Why are they involved? Are you surprised that they're involved?
I'm not. First of all, because you're taking advantage of young men who have the possibility of being multimillionaires, and there are bribes and there is fraud, and they're directing these young people and their families toward, in one case, financial advisors who are not good at those jobs. It is stealing money. But it's also true that if you're let's say a U.S. attorney for the Southern District of New York, you want to take on crime, you also like headlines, you might have aspirations to higher office or a career beyond that particular job, and to take on this world and to take on sports brings a lot of headlines and a lot of attention, and it's probably a win-win for your career and your goal to take down bad guys.
Rick Pitino, the coach, he wasn't fired outright, he was placed on unpaid leave. Do you think he'll be back?
No, he's done. He will be fired. In fact, his attorney just released a statement that that Pitino is basically fired. In reality, he has a clause in his contract that allows him 10 days to respond if he's accused of something. So what Louisville is doing here is basically following the terms of the contract. They'll fire him in 10 days. He is out for all intents and purposes, and he has told people close to him this morning he does not expect to ever coach this program again.
So he knows.
He does know, and this is a third strike for him. There's a very tawdry scandal that happened with him and a woman who wasn't his wife at a restaurant several years ago. They're facing NCAA penalties. In fact, they had their national championship vacated because of a similar NCAA violation. This is a third and really egregious strike. He knows that he's done it, and not just at Louisville. He's a great coach. He's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
He will never be a college basketball coach again.
What do you think the message is that'll be sent out to colleges around the country, basketball programs?
In the short term, it's watch your back and start doing more than pay lip service to the idea of amateur athletics. In the short term, it's we need to clean house and we need to bring in people with integrity. It'll be curious, Rena, what happens in the long term, because these shoe companies, and an Adidas executive was named in one of these complaints, but if you're Nike, if you're Under Armour, if you're anyone, your money is a part of this ecosystem. It funds college basketball, it funds AAU, and whether or not universities try to sever that relationship and all the money that comes with it in the long run, I think that'll be one of the seminal questions going forward.
College basketball is a big industry, big
Sure is.
moneymaker.
Sure is.
Bill Reiter, thank you for joining us.
You bet.